Hi guys, it's been 2 weeks since I had my car mapped by Viezu. Now I know how to pronounce it. So I thought I'd give you an update of what the car feels like. It is winter, so I haven't been able to obviously push the car, but just in normal everyday driving, just when you're in drive mode without the dynamic mode, it feels so much more responsive, so much better. Where before I'd be going along like I am now and want to put my foot down very, very slightly just to build up a tiny bit of speed. It always felt sluggish, not responsive at all. So I'd end up going for the dynamic button quite a lot to try and get that responsiveness. But now I don't need to. As soon as I put my foot down slightly, a lot more power comes in, a lot more torque. It just picks up and does exactly what I want it to do, which is how I wanted it to be. So it feels so much better. Obviously, if I put my finger onto the dynamic, it's even more. And that's just a tiny little bit. It's got so much more power. So everyday driving, going to work and back, or being in traffic, or not necessarily traffic, but traffic like this, feels so much better. Have a look. You see we got these little roads like this. Obviously if there was no one in front it would be amazing, but if it just wants to pick up. Just wish there was no one there. We'll have some fun in a minute. So I just had a thought. So the lack of responsiveness I had before in driving like this, I don't know whether it's contributed from the standard map, or if you watched my previous video, my car was actually mapped before I went to Viezu. But I think it was obviously mapped by one of the mobile guys, or just the garage that isn't very good, or don't work for Viezu. So I don't know what you guys are like with your standard maps, but that low level driving in normal drive mode was so frustrating because you're thinking you got 500 horsepower or 510 horsepower at least as standard, and it felt sluggish. And of course it's the Jaguar, so you're gonna want that comfort stuff, but you still want to have the car know what you want it to do. When you put your foot down a little bit, you want it to speed up a little bit, not having to keep going a little bit more, a little bit more, and then it go. Yeah, and that was the bit that I found really frustrating. You're always trying to work that throttle to get what you wanted out of it. It's really kind of annoying in a way. And now that's gone. It's so much better. So I know the difference between 510 horsepower and 600 horsepower. You're only going to find it when you're putting your foot down a lot and all that. But that's not the point. The point is, every time I get in this car now, it feels so much better. and why not? That's what you want it for. Every time you get in the car, you want to feel like you got 600 horsepower underneath your right foot, even if you're not using it. You're just in normal everyday traffic, and that to me is worth the money in its own. Right? If I went on a track, you're going to feel even more benefit. But yeah, so some people out there are going, why map my car? Because it feels bloody good. That's why. So now we're out of traffic. We're on these little back B roads with a little humpback bridge. So I'm just in normal drive mode, no dynamic or anything like that, and it feels lovely. Yeah, just rolling around the corners, put your foot down slightly, and it starts going. There's that flood sign. Obviously, if you put it in dynamic, it goes a lot quicker. It's just nice. right now, which is gonna be a bit hefty change, but it's a bit wet at the moment. But not even put my foot down very far. It's amazing. Wow. Don't know what it felt like for you, but it felt good for me.
I can barely hold the camera up. I'm trying my hardest to hold it still.
It feels epic.
It does.
It really does. Well done, Viezu. Fair play. You can go somewhere else and have it mapped and be disappointed, I think, if you spent... I'm so glad I went to them, because I almost spent 300 quid going somewhere else. Well, 320, 330 I think it was. I almost spent that going somewhere else, and I could have had the exact same map that was loaded onto it before that I didn't know about. And Viezu managed to get an additional 60 brake horsepower on top of that map that was already there. And that just shows you the difference between mapping companies, right? You have mappers, and then you have experts in mapping, and Viezu are one of the experts in mapping. So I'm so grateful for being on the Jaguar groups on Facebook and having their experiences with Viezu and their recommendations coming to me. I'm so glad I listened to them, and thank you very much, guys, because I'm gonna enjoy this car even more. And I can't wait for spring. It's going to be epic. Let's have some fun anyway. Hang on a minute. I didn't want to go that fast. Fucking hell.
I can't hold the camera. Oh my god.
This is the other bit I love.
Oh god, I felt like I was on a roller coaster there, my stomach. Oh my gosh. Wow.
So good, we had to do it twice.
I was almost sick. Oh.
Awesome.
Definitely.
Tell you what, these tyres, they may have been really bad on the road because their tread pattern's almost slick. And I know in the wet they're not amazing, but this is cold conditions, a little bit damp. I just shoved my foot to the floor and they gripped. It took every bit of traction. So it's pretty damn decent. So I know. Is it here? No, it's not. The next one. No, is it? No, it is.
This one, yep.
I know someone was saying to me, "Why are you having it mapped? Why do you need more power? You won't be able to use it apart from a couple of weeks in a year, something like that." Well, just proving it, I can use it. Well, I can't use it around corners. That'll come in spring. But you can still have some fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, obviously if you wanted it to spin out, do a burnout at the beginning, you can, but it didn't break traction once, and I haven't even got the traction control off. It's on completely, and it didn't break traction. So yeah, I'm impressed.
Really?
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
So quick to get there. Unbelievable.
Orgasmic.
How could you tell? Oh, it's a little baby XF at the front.
Aww. He has good taste though, clearly.
Of course. Just want to hear it inside this tunnel. Why do us men love the sound of a V8?
Every man makes that sound when they hear that noise too.
Can't help it, but it's just like, wow.
It is nice.
Well, I know we all know what it sounds like, but so what I've done now, put it in sport mode, taken the dynamic button off. So now I know the good thing about the Jaguar in sport mode without the dynamic, it's intelligent, so it adapts to the way you drive. So after the map, I did wonder what it would do, whether that would go, but it's still there. So now it's in sport mode and I'm in traffic, it's not holding the revs at 3,000 RPM, it's changing nice and early because I'm not putting my foot down. So it's so that still works, which is quite important. You don't want to have to be changing modes all the time. So as you can see, so this is what we were talking about in my last video. With the tread pattern of these Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's, there's loads of tread depth there, there's stacks, but you see there's no tread pattern. They're almost like the slicks that you would get in the early 2000 Formula 1, where they're just grooves. There's a little tiny line there, but I don't know what that's supposed to do. A little tiny line there. But yeah, that's why they weren't gripping the rolling road. But as we've shown today, they actually are gripping the road. Which is pretty impressive. Right, so we're finally home. It's starting to get dark. Yeah, basically, if you haven't had your XFR mapped already, definitely get it mapped. If you've had it mapped by, I love it. If you've had it mapped by someone other than Viezu, or a mobile guy, or someone like I said before, someone that doesn't make their own maps, definitely I'd recommend going to Viezu. And one thing I didn't realise until I was there is they've actually got like global outlets and like franchise people like that, because they're a global headquarters for doing the maps. So I think they got around about 2,000 garages that actually send you your map to them. They interrogate your map and then customize it and then send it out. So you don't even have to drive into their headquarters. You can go to one of these other places. Whether they've got a dyno or not, I don't know. But you know, definitely have a look at their website and see if there's someone near you. Doesn't matter where you are. So yeah, go for it, guys. Do it. Do it.
Do it.
You won't regret it.
You won't.
All right. See you later.
Bye.